Chapter 51. Is this the legendary city in the sky? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 51. Is this the legendary city in the sky? Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Inside the villa, Lu Chen went back to his room. There had already been a gaming pod installed inside. This was sent over when the bamboo was being delivered in the afternoon. As of now, every room was equipped with the same gaming pod. Lu Chen had thought about not using it. Although he could now directly enter the second world, the gaming pod should be able to provide a layer of protection should he get affected by anything in .game. In the face of danger, at least he would still have a chance to start over. Therefore, Lu Chen directly sat in the game pod and connected to the game system. With that, he entered the game. In the second world. Lu Chen opened his eyes, and his surroundings were dark. It was still early in the night, and there were many players around. However, the dangerous Bear Ridge was still a restricted area that other players could not enter. At this moment, Lu Chen opened his palm and a golden scroll appeared in his hand. This was a teleportation scroll that he had obtained from the old village chief after entering the game. Ever since that happened, he became the focus of everyone's attention. Up until now, the value of this scroll kept increasing. It could be said that the price had risen to over $1 billion. Lu Chen pondered for a moment and decided to give this scroll a try. It was time to go to White Fog City and take a look. Thus, he used the scroll in his hand. Suddenly, a magic array that was surging with magic power appeared under Lu Chen's feet. Then, the scene before Lu Chen's eyes was covered by golden light. A terrain within a radius of tens of thousands of miles appeared in his mind. It was as if he was looking down at the human world from the perspective of a god. Lu Chen's gaze shifted around. He looked past the Bear Ridge and the Wolf Valley. To his sight he could see the White Fog City past those places. It was a vast and boundless city. It was almost comparable to the peaceful town in the real world. It stood tall like an iron fortress. The most shocking thing was that it was not built on the ground, but the city was floating in the air. That was White Fog City. Lu Chen was extremely shocked. His heart even beat wildly from this revelation. Use a teleportation scroll to teleport to White Fog City. The system rang out. Teleport. Lu Chen did not hesitate and chose to teleport. Soon, the surrounding space became blurry. In the blink of an eye, Lu Chen had crossed tens of thousands of miles and arrived in front of White Fog City. In front of him was the tightly shut gate of White Fog City. The surrounding area was silent. Lu Chen frowned slightly. Could White Fog City actually be a dead city? It should not be, right? According to the old village chief and the chubby merchant from the Chamber of Commerce, this should be a very prosperous city. However, why was it so quiet here? Lu Chen slowly approached the gates with curiosity. The large iron gate in front of him looked very old and heavy. Lu Chen approached and pushed the gates hard. The sound of rumbling could be heard, it was as if the entire city trembled with it. Dense white fog covered the surface when the gates opened. Lu Chen raised his hand, but he could not block the fog that made its way. A moment later, the fog dissipated. In front of him was a road paved with wide green stone slabs. One could not see the end of it at a first glance. Standing under the city wall that was dozens of meters high, one may feel small and insignificant. Is this really White Fog City? Lu Chen was very confused. This did not look like a city at all. It was too dead silent and not a single person could be seen. Lu Chen continued to walk forward on the path given. Only the sound of his shuffling on the pavement could be heard on this desolate street. At the same time, in the real world, countless people looked up at the sky. In the real-world sky, the shadow of a city appeared. It was a city that was floating in the air and towering over many other buildings. It immediately attracted the attention of countless people. Holy sh*t, what is that? Am I seeing things? That's a city floating in the air, right? Could this be the legendary city in the sky? Ever since the second world opened, this world has become more and more strange with random things appearing out of nowhere. What city in the sky? Can't you see the city name? It's called White Fog. What the f*ck, it's White Fog City. When everyone saw those three words clearly, many discussions rang throughout the whole world. It had been more than a week since the server opened. All the players were still struggling outside the novice village. They had been searching for the legendary White Fog City this whole time. However, they had never expected that this White Fog City would actually appear in the real world. Damn, is this really f*king real? I don't think so. This thing looks kind of fake to me. It looks like a projection of sorts. I think so too. However, would the Dragon Country not take action if such a big thing appeared in midair? What if it wasn't a projection? What if it was something that dropped from the sky? Everyone was talking among themselves. Meanwhile, in the building of the Dragon Building, the faces of countless people who knew about the truth turned solemn. According to what they knew, when the first building of the second world appeared in the sky, it would prove that other things were going to appear in this world. If I'm not wrong, someone must have entered White Fog City. Who is it? We don't know yet. We've already asked Du He. It's not him. Could it be Lu Chen? Hurry up and contact Lu Yuan to ask about his whereabouts right now. A moment later, the news came back. I have news, it should be Lu Chen. According to Lu Yuan's reply, Lu Chen said that he wanted to increase his strength, but she didn't expect that he would want to go straight to White Fog City. In the room, Lu Chongping took a deep breath before he replied to the others. Find out Lu Chen's location right now. Everyone, move out. We must ensure Lu Chen's safety. If Lu Chen can succeed, then our Dragon Country will receive a huge benefit. Yes, sir. As soon as he finished speaking, all the people in the Dragon Building immediately went to work. Countless experts swarmed toward the villa where Lu Chen was. In White Fog City, Lu Chen walked for almost half an hour, and yet had not encountered anyone here. This city seemed to be abandoned or desolate. He could not help but feel lost, he did not know why this was happening. According to the old village chief, White Fog City should not be like this. Could it be that he came to the wrong place? It was impossible. Outside the city, there were clearly three words indicating the location of this place, White Fog City. Lu Chen shook his head. He did not plan to take it one step at a time. He quickly quickened his pace to see the city in its entirety first. In the next moment, he turned into afterimages. A moment later, he found an altar in the middle of the city. There was a sentence written on it, but he could not read it properly. Lu Chen frowned. However, at that moment, moonlight shone on the altar, and a flower moon mark appeared between Lu Chen's eyebrows. The altar seemed to have been activated from that gesture. Suddenly, an array of divine light blazed straight to the sky. Chapter 52. The City Lord. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 52. The City Lord. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. The divine light reached the sky, and Lu Chen did not have time to react to the blinding light. The huge pillar of light shot straight up into the clouds and spread out layers of ripples between the clouds. What was going on? Lu Chen was stunned. There was not a single living person in such a large city. All he managed to find was an altar that suddenly emitted an inexplicable light. The golden light rushed into the night, and even White Fog City in the real world underwent a change. The entire world was paying attention to the city in the sky. A terrifying blaze of light rose from White Fog City. It swept through the clouds as if it was guiding a certain world to somewhere. Damn, what the F***ck is going on? Mom, come out and see what's happening right now. Oh my gosh, what's going on in this world? Such a sight shook everyone's hearts to their core. It was more intuitive than any special effects anyone has ever witnessed in any movie. On the other hand, the powerhouses of various families in the Dragon Country were all very solemn. Gu Yiming stood at the balcony of the Gu family's household. He stood with his hands behind his back and looked at the city in the sky above peaceful town. Tell me, who do you think caused this? Elder Bai said indifferently, it can't be Du He. If I'm not wrong, the only possibility of someone pulling this off would be Lu Qin. It looks like the young master has made the right bet this time. Gu Yiming looked at the city floating in the sky and remained silent. After a long time, he said, that may not be true. This could just be the beginning of everything. In the south, the Shao family were just as vigilant about what was happening. Many of the Shao family's disciples were extremely shocked. Back then, even when the patriarch came out of seclusion, he did not have such an imposing manner. Could it be that Lu Qin really has such a great ability to do such things? In the Su family, an old man could be seen sitting on the balcony as he calmly drank tea. Beside him stood a slim and graceful young girl. Ziyuan, that Lu Qin kid is more powerful than I thought. The Gu family is already on the move in attaining his trust. You have to hurry up. Su Ziyuan bit her red lips and nodded. Got it, Grandpa. Many forces gathered from the event that was unfolding. Even the West paid attention to this whole fiasco. What's going on? How did the East manifest the city before us? What did they do to get this far? Find out who was the one in charge of making the Second World City descend into this reality. The Western countries scrambled in panic. The Second World City descending into this world meant a huge explosion of resources. Many energy resources that did not exist on this planet could help a country break through the shackles of technology. This was a great opportunity for anyone. If the Dragon Country were to take the lead, they would be unstoppable. Therefore, the entire western region became anxious. Amidst the chaos, Lu Qin frowned and looked at the pillar of light in White Fog City. He vaguely felt a sense of familiarity that came upon him. Suddenly, the moonlight filled the sky. Then, a human figure appeared from the pillar of light. It was a humanoid creature wearing golden armor. Its skin was greenish-purple, and it held a strangely shaped weapon in its hand. The long handle looked like an ancient longsword, but it was not exactly entirely it as well. Suddenly, the armor turned into bouts of fish scales, almost as though it moved with the human's figure's every muscle movement. The appearance of this god-like person immediately caused the people in the entire world to go into a fit of frenzy. This must be the god of our eastern camp. Look at its armor, it definitely belongs to our eastern camp. You guys are being shameless. Your eastern camp has a hammer god, this god must belong to our Banzi country. Our country is the origin of the Eastern culture after all. You guys are a bunch of ignorant Easterners, that is a demon. In our Western legends, its skin is greenish-purple as well, and its eyes are long and narrow. That is the incarnation of a demon. The group of people argued endlessly. Meanwhile, in White Fog City, that mysterious existence slowly spoke. Are you a member of the Wolf Moon God's lineage who arrived here first? Lu Qin raised his head, a trace of surprise in his heart appeared. This fellow actually could tell that he had some relationship with the Wolf Moon God. Thus, he opened his mouth and asked, "May I ask who you are, sir?" The man slowly said, "I am the general of the White Fog City in the Upper Realm. The White Fog City in the human world has not opened for 10,000 years. It is now quite dilapidated. Since you were able to arrive here, it would mean that you have the qualifications to become the city lord. From now on, the heavy responsibility of subduing 10,000 miles of demonic beasts and commanding a city will be handed over to you. However, before that, you need to pass a test. What is a city lord? Lu Chen was slightly shocked. What was so good about becoming the city lord of an empty city? He had doubts in his heart, but he still managed to ask, what type of test? The man raised the weapon in his hand and said, you would need to defeat me. However, I won't use my full strength. Of course, I'll give you a taste of what it's like. The stronger you display your strength, the more benefits you'll reap from it. L.RG. As soon as he finished speaking, the interface's attributes appeared before Lu Chen. Guardian General of the Upper Realm, level. Unknown, HP, 1,600,000,000, attack. 160,000, continuously decreasing, defense. 5,000, continuously decreasing, magic defense. 4,000, continuously decreasing, skills. Unknown. As soon as the attribute panel appeared, Lu Chen's scalp tingled. What the F***CK? 160,000 attack power. 1,600,000,000 HP. 5,000 defense. How was he supposed to fight such a crazy monster? Meanwhile, the attributes of this Guardian General had also appeared to everyone else as well. At the same time, Lu Chen's figure also appeared in the virtual image of White Fog City in the real world. Under the dozens of meters tall Guardian General, his figure was exceptionally tiny. Countless people recognized him with one look. F***CK, it's the great and amazing morning mist. I knew it. Who else could have easily reached White Fog City that quickly? It turns out that only that great person could do it. Wait, but can he really pass this test? He's basically going against a real god. F***CK, even I feel despair. This is definitely a test that I can't pass. With 160,000 attack power, how would he even be able to block it? In White Fog City, the taller man slowly said. Don't worry, as long as you can withstand 3 of my attacks and cause me to receive a certain amount of damage, I would consider it a success. As a general from the upper realm, he had absolute confidence in his power. Of course, the more attacks you can withstand and the more damage I receive, the higher my evaluation of you will be. Now, the test begins. With that, the taller man raised his weapon. The huge weapon was like a huge pillar taken from the heavens itself. With a wide swing, it turned into an astonishing beam of light that fell towards Lu Chen. Lu Chen did not have time to think. He immediately summoned his pet. He did not care if Lan Weiwei could appear or not. She shared his HP with him. He needed Lan Weiwei's HP. After that, he directly activated his skill, Shield God. Countless people shook their heads. Even if this general took the initiative to reduce his attack power, it was still a full 100,000 attack power in one swing. How much HP did Lu Chen have to withstand such a hit? However, in the next moment, everyone was stunned. 2 large golden words appeared above Lu Chen's head. Shield God. A transparent light shield rose up from the ground. It appeared directly in front of Lu Chen. It blocked the Guardian General's heavy attack. A loud booming sound could be heard and the huge collision created a shockwave. A row of red numbers appeared above Lu Chen's head thereafter. 10,000. Lu Chen, who was standing on the spot, was safe and sound. At some point in time, a beautiful girl holding a panda appeared beside him. Chapter 53. F***CK. What the F***CK? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 53. F***CK. What the F***CK? Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. A string of red numbers appeared above Lu Chen's head. Everyone was shocked. Did Lu Chen's HP not be reduced by 10,000? How was Lu Chen safe and sound? What was going on? The game had only been online for less than a month, and the average player's HP should be at most a few thousand points. Yet, Lu Chen already had more than 10,000 HP. Moreover, his opponent's attack power was as high as 100,000 points. Yet, it was directly reduced to 90% by Lu Chen. Was this not a little too abnormal? F***ck, that Morning Mist dude really knows how to put on a good show. Whoa, who knows how many golden titles Morning Mist has? That was ridiculous. Shield God, Sword God, Blade God, how can such a person be allowed to have this many titles? Oh my gosh, that dude is absolutely insane. Is Morning Mist really that powerful? Yeah, of course he is, but who is the little girl beside him? Lan Weiwei's appearance attracted everyone's attention. At the same time, the various parties started to pay attention to her. They would not let go of anyone who could enter White Fog City. Lu Yuan's eyes widened as she looked at the girl hugging the panda. She was almost certain that it was Lan Weiwei. Lu Yuan's breathing quickened. She wanted to go to Lu Chen's room in the villa immediately. However, she was afraid of disturbing Lu Chen. Within White Fog City, Lu Chen looked at Lan Weiwei who was beside him and felt somewhat at ease. This girl still had a conscience and knew how to help him when in need. However, why did she bring Raleigh over? What was the use of this little fellow mascot? Lu Chen was slightly taken aback by Raleigh's presence. He also took a look at Lan Weiwei's interface. Ancient Ash Wolf, owner. Morning Mist, name. Lan Weiwei, intimacy. 120, level. 20, battle form, attack. 5,000, HP, 100,000, defense. 500, magic defense. 500, skills. Frost domain, true form transformation, Ash Wolf's fury. Lu Chen was shocked. This girl had actually entered into her battle mode. The 100,000 HP points on the interface made Lu Chen feel much more relieved. His HP was shared with Lan Weiwei's. The strike from his opponent just now had only taken out 1/10 of his HP right now. Within the light pillar of the altar, that existence slowly spoke. He looked ahead with a complicated expression and said, "It's been a long time since I've seen a pure ancient Ash Wolf." He looked at Lu Chen with a deep meaning and said, "Ash Wolf bloodline, Moon God's imprint, who exactly are you?" Lu Chen was silent. The burly man continued, "I'm looking forward to seeing how far you can go. You may make your move." When Lu Chen heard this, he said, "Then I shall begin with mine." As he finished speaking, a blue longsword appeared in his hand. Everyone stared at Lu Chen excitedly. They were all looking forward to seeing how far Lu Chen could go. After all, the opponent's defense was more than 5,000 points. This meant that if the damage that Lu Chen caused did not exceed 50,000 points, he would not be able to cause any damage to the opponent at all. The burly man also looked at Lu Chen with intrigue, as if he was looking forward to his performance. In the next moment, the golden font above Lu Chen's head suddenly changed. From Shield God to Sword God. This time, Lu Chen's interface was not completely covered. This allowed everyone to see the attack power on his interface. F***ck, what the F***ck am I seeing? An attack power of 9,250 points. Am we even playing the same F***king game with that dude? F***ck, one random slap from them would end my career in the game. No wonder he could kill all the White Alliance members in an instant. I would officially bow down to Morning Mist as my one true god. Hey you, Eastern players, don't be too happy with what he has. Having a 9,000 attack power, I'm sure that it won't even break the opponent's defense. A Western player opened his mouth, and only then did everyone react to what he said. 9,000 attack power was high, but the opponent had a true 5,000 defense. This bit of attack power might not even be enough to have chip damage towards Lu Chen's opponent. However, in the next moment, the number on Lu Chen's interface skyrocketed. It kept increasing from 9,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, it directly rose to 64,750 points in the blink of an eye. Everyone was shocked. None of them knew how powerful the sword god state was. Even the burly man in the light pillar was shocked. I didn't expect you to have such a talent for swordsmanship. Good, good, really good. Draw your sword, boy. Show me what you got. Lu Chen took a deep breath and said, "Okay, I won't hold back." With that, the long sword in his hand turned into countless afterimages and slashed towards his opponent. Currently, Lu Chen's attack speed was at 16.5 points. Under the state of the sword god, it could be increased by 8 times. In other words, he could now slash out more than 100 times in 1 second. However, that was his theoretical limit. If he really slashed out more than 100 times in one go, his body would definitely collapse first before giving out. Therefore, this time, he planned to slash out only 50 times. Because of the Ash Wolf King's sword, it directly cut through half of the opponent's armor. With Lu Chen's 60,000 attack power, each attack could cause 39,750 damage. Hence, the players all over the world knew something amazing was going to happen. The F***CK, how many times has Morning Mist slashed this attack? Whoa, and that was close to 100,000 damage, and this is under the condition that the opponent only has 5,000 defense points. Isn't that too terrifying to release right now? I feel like Morning Mist is basically invincible. I bet no one in the game could match his powers. I feel that you Easterners are breaking the rules. You clearly said one move, but he slashed so many times. Hee, you silly Westerner. He really did use one move, it was just that the other damage done was just the after effect of that one move. Why talk **T about it when you yourself can't imitate what he did? Let's not talk about this. I just want to know, how much damage did Morning Mist deal and how many slashes was it? Countless people looked at the general's HP bar, wanting to know how much damage Lu Chen had dealt in the end. Finally, the sword aura dissipated. Everyone's gaze gathered over. Point 1987, 500. Everyone's scalps went numb. Did he really manage to deal close to 2 million damage points in 1 second? He was simply a terrifying monster. What level was he truly at? The Guardian General should reconsider his next move now. Although this bit of damage was not worth breaking the 1,600,000,000 HP of the General, but it was terrifying enough. The Guardian General nodded slightly and said, "Not bad. It's not easy for the lower realms White Fog City to have an expert like you. However, if I could take a guess, you haven't used your full strength yet, right? I see that you're still far from reaching your limit." When these words were said, everyone else was shocked. Was this not the full strength of Morning Mist? What in the world did he mean by that? Chapter 54. 4. I shall not hold back either. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 54. I shall not hold back either. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Lu Chen generously admitted to what the general suspected. That's right, this body is just unable to let me slash out my limit. The general nodded and said, "If you can form the body of the sword god, which is the sword saint, then you can bear this power. Take another move from me. If you can bear this move, I will give you a token each time you succeed. With this token, you can enter the upper realm sword pool." The general spoke in a deep voice. Although Lu Chen did not know what kind of upper realm sword pool he was talking about, based on his intuition, it definitely had something to do with his title of sword god. Thus, he said, "Well then, please make your move." As soon as he finished speaking, the general raised the weapon in his hand. The power it held this time was much stronger than the previous time. The entire light pillar was buzzing with energy. That kind of terrifying power caused the real world to tremble. The entire white fog city even trembled along with it as well. Golden light shone brightly everywhere. The weapon seemed to have split heaven and earth apart. With that, it fell towards Lu Chen. This was definitely a skill move from the general. Information instantly appeared in Lu Chen's mind. Cleaving strike, it causes a large amount of damage to the target. Ignoring the damage reduction of the opponent, there will be an 80% chance of it being fatal. Lu Chen was shocked. Although the damage value was not written on it, the damage it caused was definitely not less than the attack power of the opponent's panel. Moreover, it directly cut through the damage reduction of the opponent. Then, would his shield god's effect lose its effect when it came to protecting him? With 100,000 HP, he could barely deal enough damage with the addition of Lan Weiwei. However, the problem was that the damage dealt by the opponent's attack was probably more than 100,000. What was even more ridiculous was that there was an 80% chance of the attack being fatal. In other words, as long as the attack landed, there was an 80% chance of death for Lu Chen. Getting an instant kill was simply unreasonable. Cold beads of sweat appeared on Lu Chen's forehead. Even the people in the real world felt that it was much too terrifying to witness any further. The Guardian General's skills are too monstrous. How is he possibly going to withstand it? Although Morning Mist is strong, his level is still too low to withstand such an attack. I think that if Morning Mist is given some time to strengthen himself, he will definitely be able to defeat him. The Easterners love to watch themselves get pummeled, isn't it? If you Easterners were given a lifetime to train, it would still be impossible for any of you to defeat him. Then, may I ask, is there an expert such as Morning Mist in your region? I don't think you'll be able to produce such an expert in your lifetime. No matter what, the Morning Mist you worship and speak of will die in the next moment. The words of the Westerner made the hearts of many players sink to the bottom of the abyss. Even they did not believe that Lu Chen could withstand such a terrifying attack. Suddenly, a huge golden light enveloped Lu Chen. The sky shook from the attack. Lu Chen felt a bitter taste in his mouth. It seemed that even he could feel that was not able to withstand this attack. He raised the shield in his hand, and the word Shield God above his head was drowned out by the light. With a bang, a red number floated out from above. .946, 5886. Everyone sucked in a breath of air. A single attack dealt over 9 million damage. Was this the true damage dealt by a general from the upper realm? It was simply too terrifying. Countless people sighed inwardly from what happened. In the Dragon building, many members of the Dragon team also shook their heads slightly, many of them pitied Lu Chen. It was not that Lu Chen was not strong enough, but this Guardian General was simply too powerful. A damage of over 9 million damage was not something that players at this time could withstand. Many experts from the various clans felt both fortunate and regretful for him. What a pity, what a shame. If this brat can pass the test, then the power of the world will rest in our eastern region. Many people felt dejected. At this moment, someone suddenly exclaimed. Something's not right, Morning Mist's figure hasn't dissipated. As soon as these words were said, everyone shifted their gazes back. That's right. If an ordinary player received a fatal attack, their body would slowly disappear. Then, they would be teleported to the resurrection point and get resurrected. However, the Morning Mist's body did not show any signs of dissipating. What was going on? That's impossible. This Easterner clearly suffered over 9 million damage. How could he be fine? Could it be that he has more than 10 million HP? That shouldn't exist. Many Eastern players were also confused with what was actually happening. Meanwhile, in White Fog City, Lu Chen was also a little confused. He also did not understand why he did not die. Nothing made sense. It was not until he saw Raleigh on the ground jumping in front of him. A line of information finally entered his eyes. Your pet Raleigh has triggered the luck bonus skill. Congratulations, you are immune to this attack. Holy sh*T Raleigh. Lu Chen never thought that this guy could be so useful. This mascot was more than just a mascot. The Guardian General nodded his head in satisfaction and said, as expected, I was not mistaken. This is really the legendary auspicious beast. Lu Chen was a little puzzled and said, auspicious beast. The big man replied, it is said that auspicious beasts can ward off all disasters. It seems that this is true. Lu Chen looked at him with a strange expression and said, don't tell me that you used such a powerful move just to test this little fellow. The burly man smiled and said, that's right. Lu Chen's heart was heavy. He had said that the attack this time was completely different from the previous one. Could it be that he only wanted to see if Raleigh was really a legendary creature? If Lu Chen had known earlier, he could have just tossed it to him to study the creature himself. When the general saw Lu Chen's speechless expression, he knew that he had gone too far. He said, well, actually, in terms of the test, you've already passed it from the first time you made your move. Generally speaking, as long as you can break through my defense, you will be considered to have passed. Not only have you passed, but you have also surpassed me by much farther. This attack was carried out with my own selfish motives. How about this, I will give you a chance to attack with your full strength. I want to see just how high you can reach to your fullest potential. As he spoke, he casually raised his hand, and a red light landed on Lu Chen's body. Ding! You have obtained the bonus of an ancient god. You can now break through the limits of your body easily. Lu Chen was delighted. He remembered what the Guardian General had said. The higher the damage he dealt, the more generous the reward. Now that he could directly break through the limits of his body, he could use the sword god state without any scruples. Moreover, this was not just the buff from the sword god state. Lu Chen raised his head and looked at the big man in front of him. Thank you, sir. I shall show you what I'm really made of. As soon as he finished speaking, the two words sword god above his head flashed. Chapter 55. This is not the end. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 55. This is not the end. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Bright golden light flashed above Lu Chen's head. Everyone was paying attention to his next move. Morning Mist is too terrifying. He didn't even die in battle. D*MN, I want a pet too. It's so cute and dangerous. Whoa, it's even immune to damage. If such a divine pet were to be put on the market, it would be a sky-high price. Let's not talk about anything else. I just want to see how far Morning Mist can go. That's right. That big guy said that he would give Morning Mist a chance to attack with his full strength. Lu Chen held his long sword in his hand and his eyes were solemn. One had to know that he did not only have the sword god state skill. He had obtained the power of the Ash Wolf in the palace of the ancient Ash Wolf. He was able to convert the moonlight that he had stored into a temporary attack power. During this period of time, Lu Chen was actually not idle. He had been constantly absorbing the moonlight. In the villa, the rate of absorption was even more terrifying. He did not need to take the initiative to sit cross-legged and absorb it. It would continue to increase no matter what. Thus, the attack power on Lu Chen's interface started to increase from 9,250 points to much more. It was increasing crazily step by step. Damn, Morning Mist's attack power interface is increasing crazily. I don't think that's his end, right? What were his basic stats? Everyone watched helplessly as Lu Chen's attack power panel began to increase. In the sky above White Fog City, a dark and cold purple moon appeared. Under the illumination of the moonlight, Lu Chen's attack power skyrocketed. 10,000, 20,000. 40,000, the final number directly stopped at 56,000 points. This was not the end. With the blessing of the sword god's state, this number had to be increased by sevenfold. 392,000, everyone went crazy. Nearly 0.400,000 point value. 400,000, what kind of concept was that? That would be absolutely terrifying. When the Guardian General saw this scene, he was extremely shocked. In the upper realm, with such strength, Lu Chen could become a powerhouse of a region. This guy's potential was too terrifying. However, this was not the end. Let us not forget, Lu Chen had the moon god's mark. Fighting under the moonlight would increase his attack power by 50% more. Therefore, when the players saw the number on Lu Chen's attack panel change again, they completely lost control. A 588,000 point attack power. That was insane. Even when the bigger man in the light appeared, his attack power was far from this number. In other words, Lu Chen was practically a god-like existence right now. His combat power suppressed everything else around him. Even the Guardian General felt a little incredulous. If he did not have enough confidence in his own HP, he would have prepared to adjust his defense to not die. Lu Chen held the sword in his hand. This time, he did not hold back. Under the sword god's state, he could increase his attack speed by 8-fold. Currently, his attack speed on the interface was 16.5 points. In other words, he could slash out 132 times in a second. The sound of the sword swishing could be heard. The world trembled with the energy of the sword being spread out. Countless sword auras enveloped the Guardian General in an instant. The sky was filled with a high red number. All the players were dumbfounded. Lu Chen's graceful movement with his sword made them want to yearn for his powers too. They would probably never be able to deal that much damage in their lifetime. Finally, Lu Chen stopped the sword in his hand. 776, 160, 00. Everyone saw the HP of the warrior being reduced by 77 million HP. That was absolutely shocking. One had to know that Lu Chen's current level was only level 15. Attacking 77 million points per second. No matter how much HP this warrior had, as long as Lu Chen is given a little more time, he could theoretically kill him. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Guardian General still stood his ground. Even with Lu Chen's high damage, his full power attack did not cause his opponent 1/10 of the damage. However, just as everyone was thinking this, the general's expression suddenly changed. A huge red number appeared above his head. 0.320 million. The string of zeros behind that number almost made everyone unable to count. F***ck, so many zeros. How much damage did Morning Mist deal with his final strike, that 10 million, 10,000 million? This can't be over 100 million, right? F***ck, it's really over 100 million and more damage. This is really terrifying. In White Fog City, the Guardian General looked at Lu Chen seriously and said, "You're very good. That sword attack just now almost cut off one of my arms. Your skill is so. However, as a general of the upper realm, he could see that Lu Chen's strength was extremely terrifying. He had never thought that he would be able to suffer such serious injuries in the lower realm. He was extremely satisfied with Lu Chen's attack. The White Fog City in the lower realm and the White Fog City in the upper realm were connected. With such a person as the City Lord, he was very assured of how it shall stay. Hence, he nodded and said, "You did very well. You passed the test." As he spoke, he threw out a token from the light screen. This is the City Lord's token. From now on, this city will be under your jurisdiction. In this city, you are everything. Lu Chen reached out and held the token in his hand. In an instant, countless messages flowed into Lu Chen's mind. It seemed that he had some unknown connection with this city. And these, take them all. This is what you've earned after passing the test. As soon as he finished speaking, a bundle was given to Lu Chen. Before Lu Chen could remember to open it, the light pillar on the altar slowly rose into the air, along with that figure. The man's voice came from afar. When you have the strength to open the altar again, we will meet again. When that time comes, I hope you can defeat me. The man's voice gradually faded away. Lu Chen finally heaved a sigh of relief. That last attack had clearly satisfied the other party. That attack was also a skill that came with the sword god. Void sword, there was a 1% chance of dealing 20% damage to the other party's maximum HP. Therefore, Lu Chen's final attack had only dealt terrifying damage of 320 million. The entire world was in an uproar. F***ck, what's going on? Did Morning Mist really become the city lord of White Fog City? The F***ck, what's the meaning of this? Are we players going to seek refuge with Morning Mist? Whoa, this is getting more and more interesting. A city built by players. If that's the case, shouldn't we look for Morning Mist to change our job classes? Dear Lord, please protect us when we meet him. Okay, Morning Mist, hurry up and bring us to White Fog City. I'll even willingly beg for you to bring me in. Ha, I know how to beg too. Don't try to suck up to him. The eyes of the Dragon Country's higher.ups were burning with desire. Lu Chongping said, from now on, Lu Chen's safety is the most important thing in the entire country. Whoever dares to threaten Lu Chen's safety would be seen as trying to destroy the Dragon Country. The higher.ups have already given the highest order. We can start our attack on the Shao family now. At the same time, in the capital of the other Western countries, the expressions of many of the higher.ups were extremely ugly. Apart from people like Lu Chen in the East, it made them feel uneasy. If they were to grow stronger in the future, how would they have any room to survive? I don't care what methods we use, you must get rid of this Morning Mist as soon as possible. Now, take action immediately. If we don't get rid of Lu Chen, the entire West will not be at peace. We must not let the Dragon Country become stronger. Right when everyone was having different thoughts. In White Fog City, Lu Chen began to reap his benefits this time. From that one fight, his system's notifications had been ringing non-stop from what he gained. Chapter 56. Is this isn't a godly skill, then what is it? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 56. Is this isn't a godly skill, then what is it? Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. In White Fog City, Lu Chen's notifications kept ringing. Ding. Congratulations on obtaining a large amount of experience. You are now level 20. Lu Chen was shocked. Did he really just increase by 5 levels in one go? Looking at the attributes that could be distributed on the interface, Lu Chen only increased his strength. This was his usual habit, unfortunately. Ding. Your Sword God title has been strengthened. Ding. Your Shield God title has been strengthened. Ding. Your Blade God title has been strengthened. Ding. Your Bow God title has been strengthened. Lu Chen was delighted by the continuous notification sounds. All his titles have finally received a full upgrade. He knew that every time these titles were upgraded, his strength would soar by an insurmountable amount. He took a quick look at his interface. Sword God. Your comprehension of the sword has reached an unfathomable level. When you use a sword-type weapon, you will receive a special effect bonus. This effect will grow along with your level. Sword Intent. When you use a sword-type weapon, it will burst forth with sword intent, and your attack power will increase to 700%. Sword God State. Your attack swiftness will cause irreversible damage. Items damaged by the God of Sword State cannot be recovered. Godly Speed. The speed of your sword attack is on a godly level. The attack interval will be greatly shortened. Attack speed has now increased by 800%. Limited to one attack once it reaches the speed limit. Immune to side effects. Lasts for 1 second. Void Sword. The speed of your sword attack has reached an unfathomable level. There is a 10% chance of triggering this effect. Deals 20% maximum HP damage to the target. When this skill is triggered, you will be in an invincible state. The overall effect of the Sword God did not change much. However, there was an additional side effect of immunity for his godly speed. He could now use the theoretical maximum attack speed. This was a terrifying power to behold. It should be known that it was already very taxing for Lu Chen to use his normal attack speed. Now that he could use the maximum attack speed at least once, his explosive power would be on a whole new level were he to attack his enemies with it. More importantly, the probability of triggering the Void Sword had increased from 1% to 10%. This was undoubtedly a good thing. After all, Lu Chen had only dealt over 70 million damage to his opponent with his full explosive power just now. However, the moment Void Sword gets triggered, it could potentially take away 320 million points of his opponent's HP. From this, one could see that the Void Sword skill might be Lu Chen's main source of damage in the later stages of the game. Lu Chen took one glance at it and continued to look at the next title. Shield God. Your understanding of the shield has reached an unfathomable level. When you use any shield, you will receive a special effect bonus. This effect will grow along with your level. Indestructible. When you receive damage, you will be immune to 90% of the damage. Shield Backlash. Return 90% of the damage you receive to the enemy. Shield Spirit. You have a 1% chance to be immune to all damage. Lu Chen let out a breath of cold air. Although the Shield God did not have any buffs, it now gained an additional Shield Spirit skill. This very skill has a 100% chance to be immune to all damage. This was a powerful skill to have. He could not help but think of Raleigh. If that little fellow could increase his chances of being lucky. That would mean he could basically be invincible in the future, right? At this moment, another title came into view. Bow God. Your understanding of bows has reached an unfathomable level. When you use a bow-type weapon, you will receive a special effect bonus. This effect will grow with your level. Accurate Arrow. When you use a bow-type weapon, your attack is set to hit. Armor Breaker. When you use a bow and arrow type weapon to attack, you will dispel 90% of the target's armor. 7-star Succession. You can shoot 7 arrows at once, and your attack power will be increased by 500%. Shattered Stars. You can shoot a powerful arrow that ignores all the defense of the target, and it will definitely land a critical hit, causing 10 times the penetrating damage. This time, the Bow God's attack power had increased to 500%, and there was also a new skill, Shattered Stars. This was equivalent to increasing his own explosive power. Ignoring all defenses, and having penetrating damage was extremely impressive. As for the remaining Saber God, he had 2 additional attributes. Blade God. Your understanding of the blade has reached an unfathomable level. When you use a blade-type weapon, you will receive a special effect bonus. This effect will grow with your level. Frenzied Blade. When you transform into the Blade God, your attack will definitely be a critical hit. You will have a critical hit immunity effect and receive a 400% critical hit damage bonus. Bloodbath Blade God. When your enemies exceed more than 100, your attack will become an area effect damage of 100 meters. 50% of the damage will be converted into your HP. Swift Blade. When you use a blade-type weapon, you can deal 3 damage attacks at the same time. You can also use 60% of your maximum attack speed, regardless of your body's capabilities. Magic Blade. When you use a blade-type weapon, you can convert your physical damage into magic damage. Only having the Swift Blades bonus was considered a big improvement. Lu Chen had yet to think of a good use for the Magic Blade skill just yet. However, the Blade God could be used to clear condense monster areas. Therefore, it could be extremely useful for multiplayer battles. Next, the class that Lu Chen was looking forward to the most popped up. Dark Shura. Your understanding of darkness has reached an unfathomable level. When you use a hidden weapon, you will receive a special effect bonus. This effect will grow with your level. Shadow State. When you transform into a shadow, your body will be hidden into the void. Ordinary attacks cannot deal any damage to you. When you encounter special damage, you will be immune to it. Shadow Kill. When you use a long-range hidden weapon, your attack can surpass the opponent's armor. This attack will not deactivate the shadow state. One-hit kill. When you use a close-range hidden weapon, shadow state will be deactivated. Attacks will surpass the opponent's armor. Critical strikes, dodges, and shield blocks from opponents will be ignored. Deals 300% true damage. Secret Whisper. You can curse an enemy in the dark. This enemy will be cursed with the curse of darkness. When you deal damage to the enemy, there is a 50% chance of killing the enemy in one hit. This skill ignores all immunity effects. Cooldown time is 30 days. Lu Chen was shocked. The last skill was simply insane. Possessing a 50% true death. If this was not a godly skill, then what was it? Lu Chen calmed his breathing. After looking through the remaining titles, he slowly opened the package that the Guardian General gave him. Chapter 57. I'm still a city lord, right? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 57. I'm still a city lord, right? Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. The weight of the parcel was quite heavy. Lu Chen could not wait to know what was inside. The parcel was opened and a golden flag appeared in front of Lu Chen. O.org, ding. Congratulations on obtaining the certificate to enter the Sword Pool. Sword Pool. The destination of the godly swords in the world. All the sword saints in the past would wash their swords here. Those who enter can choose a godly weapon in the Sword Pool. Sword Pool. The Guardian General of the Upper Realm seemed to have mentioned it before. However, Lu Chen still felt that it was too far away to go to the so-called Upper Realm. He knew nothing about the so-called Upper Realm. However, he still kept the certificate just in case he could use it in the future. Then, he continued to look at the package. The Mysterious Gauntlet of the Upper Realm, Epic, Level Requirement. 20, Vitality. Plus 150, Strength. Plus 150, Agility. Plus 150, Intelligence. Plus 150, Defense. Plus 240, Magic Defense. Plus 260, Special Effect. Increases 1% of your attack power every time you attack in battle. A piece of epic equipment. Lu Chen's heart was burning with excitement. This was the first time he had seen a piece of epic equipment. The level requirement was not too high. It was only level 20, and the additional attributes were very impressive. Especially more so for the last special effect, every attack in the battle could increase his attack power. This was the most terrifying thing he has seen thus far. If he attacked 100 times, everything should be doubled, right? One had to know that Lu Chen's current numerical base was already very terrifying. This additional effect was very impressive. Lu Chen carried on with the other items. White Fog City Lord Scepter, Legendary, Level Requirement. None, Special Requirement. Can only be used by the White Fog City Lord, Growth. Type Equipment, Vitality. Plus 500, Strength. Plus 500, Agility. Plus 500, intelligence. Plus 500, attack power. Plus 30,000, defense. Plus 500, magic defense. Plus 500, special effect. A piece of special equipment that only the White Fog City Lord may use. When the White Fog City Lord uses this equipment, all damage dealt in the White Fog City will be increased by 100%, and its attributes will be doubled. It also mentioned that the City Lord can control the movement of White Fog City. It's a piece of legendary level exclusive equipment. Moreover, the attributes of this equipment were ridiculously high. This piece of equipment alone was enough for Lu Chen to reap a bountiful harvest. No wonder the higher UPS placed so much importance on being the first to enter White Fog City. The City Lord's scepter directly increased Lu Chen's attributes by 1,000 points. Moreover, if he was in White Fog City, the damage he deals with would be doubled. With this effect, Lu Chen's combat power can rise to another level. After that, the White Fog City series set equipment appeared in the package as well. White Fog City Lord's Armor, Legendary, Level Requirement. None, Special Requirement. Can only be used by the White Fog City Lord, Growth. Type Equipment, Vitality. Plus 500, Strength. Plus 500, Agility. Plus 500, Intelligence. Plus 500, Defense. Plus 1000, Magic Defense. Plus 1000, Special Effect. Special equipment that only the Lord of White Fog City can use. When the Lord of White Fog City uses this equipment, he will be 99% immune to all damage in White Fog City. White Fog City Lord's Cape, Legendary, Level Requirement. None, Special Requirement. Can only be used by the White Fog City Lord, Growth. Type Equipment, Vitality. Plus 400, Strength. Plus 500, Agility. Plus 400, Intelligence. Plus 500, Defense. Plus 1000, Magic Defense. Plus 1000, Special Effects. A piece of special equipment that only the White Fog City Lord can use. When the White Fog City Lord uses this equipment, the magic damage and magic resistance received by the White Fog City Lord will be reduced by 90%, White Fog City Lord's Crown, Legendary, Level Requirement. None, Special Requirement. Can only be used by the White Fog City Lord, Growth. Type Equipment, Vitality. Plus 1000, Strength. Plus 500, Agility. Plus 500, Intelligence. Plus 500, HP. Plus 80,000, Defense. Plus 1000, Magic Defense. Plus 1000, Special Effect. A piece of special equipment that only the Lord of White Fog City can use. When the Lord of White Fog City uses this equipment, his HP will be shared with the city and he will recover 100% of his HP every second. White Fog City Lord's Boots, Legendary, Level Requirement. None, Special Requirement. Can only be used by the White Fog City Lord, Growth. Type Equipment, Vitality, plus 500, Strength. Plus 500, Agility. Plus 500, Intelligence. Plus 500, Defense. Plus 1000, Magic Defense. Plus 1000, Special Effects. A piece of special equipment that only the Lord of White Fog City can use. When the Lord of White Fog City uses this equipment, he can be teleported to any area of White Fog City. White Fog City Lord's Ring, Legendary, Level Requirement. None, Special Requirement. Can only be used by the White Fog City Lord, Growth. Type Equipment, Vitality. Plus 500, Strength. Plus 500, Agility. Plus 500, Intelligence. Plus 500, MP. Plus 9,999, Defense. Plus 1000, Magic Defense. Plus 1000, Special Effect. A piece of special equipment that only the Lord of White Fog City can use. When the Lord of White Fog City uses this equipment, Skills used in White Fog City will not have a cooldown, and the maximum amount of mana will be recovered every second. Note: all equipment will only receive attribute bonuses when the City Lord is in the city. Lu Chen read all the equipment introductions in one go and was immediately shocked. These pieces of equipment were amazing. According to the special effect on it, as long as he did not leave White Fog City, he would practically be invincible. When the various attribute effects stacked together, his damage would be ridiculously high. At this moment, Lu Chen thought of the token that the Guardian General had given him. That was the token that he had obtained after passing the test. The token to become the City Lord of White Fog City. Lu Chen quickly took out the token from his backpack. The system gave him a notification. Ding! You have passed the test to become the White Fog City's Lord. Should you choose to accept this title? Yes. Without hesitation, he chose the yes option. Soon, a title appeared on Lu Chen's interface. City Lord of White Fog City, type. Title, level 1, Vitality. Plus 500, Strength. Plus 500, Agility. Plus 500, Intelligence. Plus 500, Special Effect. The attributes of the title will increase according to the prosperity of the city. The explanation of the title was very simple. The special effect was only one sentence. However, Lu Chen saw that there was an owner at the bottom of the panel. He opened it and looked. White Fog City, City.level. Bronze, Population. 1, Available Positions. Magister, Holy Light, Paladin. Assets. None, City Defense. 1 million, Magic Defense. 1 million, City HP, 10 million, City Garrison. None, City Array. None, Lu Chen blinked. So it really was an empty city, but how did he become the City Lord? After receiving the City Lord title, Lu Chen chose to equip all his equipment first. After all, even if he was a City Lord in an empty city, as long as he wore these pieces of equipment, he would be invincible. Chapter 58. Do you need a powerful mage? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 58. Do you need a powerful mage? Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. When all the pieces of equipment were equipped, Lu Chen looked brand new. Name. Morning Mist, Level 20, Class. Hero, now able to change to War God, Titles. Sword God, Hidden, Shield God, Hidden, Axe God, Hidden, Blade God, Hidden, Bow God, Hidden, All-Rounded Master, Hidden, White Fog City Lord, Deployable, Vitality. 4265, Strength. 4250, Agility. 4205, Intelligence. 4200, HP, 137,000, MP 52,000, Attack. 82,000, Defense. 4885, Magic Defense. 4885, Reputation. 1000, the luxurious panel numbers were unbelievable to Lu Chen. The attack power alone was already 82,000. If he were to add in all sorts of enhancements, he might even be able to kill the Guardian General in one hit. However, these attribute bonuses could only be obtained in White Fog City. Outside of White Fog City, his attributes would not be much different from before. However, this was not important. There was also a set of equipment that Lu Chen had kept in his backpack. Although the attribute bonuses could not be compared to this set of equipment, the bonuses were still terrifying were he to equip that outside of the city. Lu Chen now felt as if he had become one with the city. Closing his eyes, he seemed to be able to feel the white mist floating outside the city. As the strong wind blew, he heard a rumbling sound. Lu Chen's heart skipped a beat. He had a feeling that he could now control the city's mist. Hence, he tried to control the mist with his mind. In the end, the mist that was floating in midair really started to move. However, the projection of the white fog city in the real world did not change. On the other hand, the white fog city in the second world could not stop roaring. Lu Chen controlled the white fog city to slowly descend from the air. With that, he landed on the vast plain. Lu Chen opened his eyes again and felt that everything he had done was very magical. Ding! Your pet has leveled up. The system notified him and Lu Chen was slightly stunned. Which pet? Is it Weiwei or Raleigh? Lu Chen thought to himself. He quickly opened the interface to check. Ancient Ash Wolf, owner. Morning Mist, name. Lan Weiwei, intimacy. 120, level. 25, attack. 20,000, HP, 100,000, defense. 800, magic defense. 800, skills. Frost Domain, true form activation, Ash Wolf's Fury, can be activated. Lan Weiwei's level had increased by 5 levels, and her attack power had increased to 20,000. Her defense and HP had also increased to gratifying degrees. As for the other skills, they had not changed at all. Next was her appearance. Lu Chen felt that Lan Weiwei seemed to have grown up a little. Did she seem to have grown up a little? Lu Chen wondered. Lan Weiwei blinked her googly eyes and tilted her head to look at him. Lu Chen shook his head thinking that he might be imagining things. However, to Lu Chen's surprise, Raleigh seemed to have leveled up too. Lucky, they are leveling up without even doing anything. Ancient Panda, owner. Morning Mist, name. Raleigh, intimacy. 99, level. 5, attack. 1,000, HP, 50,000, defense. 8,000, magic defense. 8,000, skill. Luck bonus, luck bonus. Provides a luck buff for 60 seconds. Has a certain chance to be immune to all negative effects and damage. Truly amazing. Lu Chen could not believe his eyes. This little fellow was insane. This little fellow was level 5 and already had 1,000 attack power. His HP even jumped to 50,000 points. Moreover, he now had an 8,000 point double resistance. ENV Raleigh's attributes were just as insane as Lu Chen's. Lu Chen immediately gained a soft spot for Raleigh. After checking the attributes of the two pets, he changed several pieces of equipment. This was to prevent his attributes from dropping after he walked out of White Fog City. Lu Chen basically had 2 panels now. One was related to the White Fog City and had heaven-defying stats. The other was a panel that was equipped with legendary equipment and looked slightly normal. Below was the normal panel. Name. Morning Mist, level. 20, class. Hero, now able to change class to War God, titles. Sword God, hidden, Shield God, hidden, Axe God, hidden, Blade God, hidden, All-Rounded Master, hidden, Vitality. 1,800, Strength. 1,985, Agility. 1,857, Intelligence. 1,765, HP, 27,650, MP 18,000, Attack. 19,850, Defense. 785, Magic Defense. 685, Reputation. 1,000, Lu Chen let out a breath of relief. He had gained a lot from entering White Fog City. However, there were also other concerning matters. White Fog City was suspiciously empty. The general from the upper realm had revealed that there were many terrifying existences in both the upper and lower realm. Everything was now filled with uncertainty and mystery. This includes his own very own White Fog City. When he was in the city, his attributes were basically higher. The more prosperous the people of White Fog City become, the higher the attribute bonus would be. There was even a potential of unlocking special skills. However, there was no specific standard for how prosperous the city could become. As of now, it could only be reflected in terms of population, money, and so on. Lu Chen began to frown. In that case, how could he increase the population of White Fog City? By attracting players to come into the city. This could be a possible solution right now. All the players urgently needed to go into White Fog City to change their class, including Lu Chen himself. However, there was nothing and no one in White Fog City. In order to attract players, the city needed to have NPCs that could change their class first. Right when Lu Chen was figuring out how to attract players to the city, the system's notification popped up. Ding! The host needs to recruit NPCs. Do you wish to recruit suitable NPCs to White Fog City using the tower? Amazing! There were such functions in the game. Apparently, the tower could search for NPCs and request for them to come to the city. Lu Chen decided to give it a try, so he walked to the tower. The tower that had just dimmed lit up again. Ding! Are you ready to recruit NPCs? Lu Chen immediately pressed onto the yes option. Please decide on the payment method. Option 1, pay by gold coins. Option 2, pay by special rewards. Lu Chen frowned. It seemed that recruiting NPCs required certain conditions. It made sense to pay them with gold coins in option 1. However, for the second one, what did it mean by special rewards? Lu Chen could not understand. With such doubts, Lu Chen clocked onto option 1 first. Ding! Please set the amount. Lu Chen thought for a moment. Previously, he had received 2,000 gold coins. So, he proposed 1,000 gold coins as funds for the experiment. In a blink of an eye, rays of light appeared in the tower causing ripples in the air. After a moment, an old figure appeared. Young leader, the Upper Realm's Kaiser has come to seek protection. May I ask if you are seeking for a powerful mage? Lu Chen looked at the short old man and an attribute panel appeared above his head. Chapter 59. This contract can't be changed once it's signed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 59. This contract can't be changed once it's signed. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation, Name. Kaiser, Race. Dwarf, Class. Archmage, Level. 42, Vitality. 789, Strength. 354, Agility. 245, Intelligence. 1142, Defense. 425, Magic Defense. 578, Skills. Fireball, Spatial Seal, Frost, Grade B. This NPC could not become a great mage and would not be able to help with class changes for players. With these stats, he would not be able to benefit the city much. Lu Chen looked at the attributes of the short old man in front of him and was not very satisfied. How was it that 1,000 gold coins could only attract this kind of people? This person was even worse than the village chief of the novice village. Lu Chen muttered and shook his head slightly. He looked at the mage in front of him and said, "Sorry, I'm not looking for someone like you right now." A hint of displeasure flashed across the old man's eyes. You should feel honored to be able to find a mage like me for 1,000 gold coins. Young city lord, your city has been run down, only a mage like me who is in need of money would be willing to come here and help you. To be honest, 1,000 gold coins a month is not considered expensive at all for a quality mage like me. Lu Chen's eyelids twitched. What the F***ck, 1,000 gold coins a month. This mage might as well rob him dry. Lu Chen raised his hand and the screams of the dwarf disappeared along with the wave of his hand. Lu Chen frowned. If he wanted to recruit someone such as that man for 1,000 gold coins, he might as well not take it. At this moment, he was reminded of the second option of recruiting NPCs. The special rewards method. Lu Chen scrunched up his eyebrows in confusion. What the H*LL was this special reward? With the mentality of giving it a try, Lu Chen tried to use the special rewards option to recruit NPCs. Soon, the light screen on the tower flickered again. Then, a young man wearing a black robe appeared. His eyes scanned the surrounded area as he gripped on a rusty iron sword. "Young city lord, are you the one who intends on hiring me?" Lu Chen nodded. The young man said, "Perfect. I'm from the upper realm. I am Atzes, a pleasure to meet you. For my special reward, you would need to give me a chance to enter the sword pool, then I shall stay here. The time limit of my stay would be 100 years. In these 100 years, I will be at your disposal and will listen to your commands unconditionally." Lu Chen was a little tempted by his proposal. 100 years, that was not a short period of time. He quickly checked the attributes of this Atzes NPC. Name. Atzes, race. Human, class. Low-level sword saint, level 72, vitality. 4,571, strength. 4,365, agility. 4,765, intelligence. 4,521, attack. 85,462, defense. 2,246, magic defense. 3,542, HP, 79,545, MP 75,422, skills. Limitless, grade S, he could become a sword saint class. Change master. Lu Chen was extremely shocked by his attributes. This guy's attributes were ridiculously high, and his grade was S ranked. Moreover, Lu Chen just so happened to have the opportunity to enter the sword pool in his hand. Actually, to Lu Chen, with the title of Sword God, it did not matter if he could go to the sword pool. Moreover, he had gained the opportunity to change his class yet. Apparently, there were special requirements for advancing his special title. Coincidentally, he could also ask Atzes about this. He had noticed this guy's class being a low-level sword saint. He never expected that a sword saint could be considered as a class. Lu Chen looked at the young man in front of him and could not help but nod excitedly. "Okay, I promise that you would have the chance to go to the sword pool." After saying this, the young man confidently walked out of the light pillar. Then, the sword pool certificate in Lu Chen's hand floated in the air. A few rules appeared and turned into two beams of white light, connecting the two players. With that a contract appeared. Atzes then said, "This is a contract. Once it is signed, it cannot be changed." Lu Chen nodded. Soon, the contract was signed. The certificate fell into Atzes' hands. Lu Chen also now felt an inexplicable connection with him. As long as he spoke, Atzes would listen to his orders unconditionally. At this moment, Atzes knelt down on one knee. "Respected city lord, as your follower, Atzes, I am under your command." Lu Chen said, "I need you to be my White Fog City's sword saint master. Would that be all right?" Atzes said, "I'd be happy to, city lord. However, if I may, could you allow me to make a trip to the upper realm first? I'll be back soon after entering the sword pool. This way, I may be of greater service to you when I return." Lu Chen nodded. With the contract being signed, Lu Chen was not afraid that he would not be able to return. This kind of contract should be formed by the will of this world. No one could violate it without experiencing severe penalties. Moreover, the stronger Atzes was, the more benefits his city would receive, right? "Thank you very much." Atzes was delighted from this. He stood up and directly stepped into the light again. "I will be back very soon, city lord." Atzes walked into the light and quickly disappeared in front of Lu Chen's eyes. After Atzes disappeared, Lu Chen started to look for more NPCs. Once again he chose the special reward option to hire them. The light flashed again. A young girl wearing a blue magic robe appeared in front of Lu Chen. Her figure was stunning and her eyes were bright. Respected City Lord, I, Linda, send my regards. If you are willing to let me research on your ancient panda for half a year, I will stay here. Study Raleigh. There was no problem with that. That guy was just a lucky mascot to Lu Chen. Turns out Raleigh had more uses now that that little fellow could get people to stay in White Fog City. Soon, Linda's interface appeared. Name: Linda, race: human, class: water. Type Grand Mage, level: 82, vitality: 2453, strength: 2456, agility: 7454, intelligence: 24567, attack: 3545, defense: 9999, magic defense: 9999, HP, 42351, MP 321322, skills: Grand Magic, Forbidden Blizzard, Curse of Misfortune, rating S. She could be the Grand Mage of White Fog City. Lu Chen gasped in shock. This NPC was really ridiculous. Her strength and other attributes were not that good, but she had an intelligence that was over 10,000 points. She even had high defense and magic defense. Lu Chen immediately agreed that he was willing to let her study Raleigh. He completely ignored the little beast complaining behind him and immediately shook hands with the NPC. Very soon, the two of them signed a contract again. Linda would only stay in White Fog City for a year. After finding a mage and a sword saint, Lu Chen used the same method to find warriors, archers, assassins, and so on. The class. Change Masters of White Fog City were finally all assembled after a while. Ding! Congratulations on recruiting the class. Change Masters in your city. City defense has increased by 100,000 points. City gold coins increased by 1 million. Lu Chen was shocked. The city defense being increased by 100,000 points was expected, but it came with 1 million gold coins. If this was in the real world, Lu Chen would be $10 billion richer. What a generous reward. Ding! The city is now sparsely populated. The city defense array cannot be activated. Do you wish to recruit craftsmen? After the system notified Lu Chen, he immediately chose the yes option. However, this time, he only used gold coins. These so-called craftsmen only needed 1 gold coin to be recruited. Therefore, Lu Chen directly recruited 10,000 craftsmen in one go. Chapter 60. You're right about the contract. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 60. You're right about the contract. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. In an instant, 10,000 craftsmen appeared in White Fog City. The craftsman master was recruited by Lu Chen at a special price. Then, the city defense array blueprint was handed over to him, directly eliminating the cost of finding someone else to design it. After doing all this, Lu Chen chose to go offline. At this moment, on the official website of the Second World, information about White Fog City appeared. F***CK, what's going on? White Fog City is now open. After Lu Chen finished recruiting class. Change Masters, White Fog City's announcement of it being available appeared on the Second World's official website. White Fog City, City Lord. Morning Mist, status. Open, class. Change Masters. Linda, Atzes. The information regarding White Fog City's class. Change Masters was extremely detailed. Countless players were completely dumbfounded by the array of options. I don't care. I want to change my class to Sword Saint. Being a mage is too weak. Hee, go play with your iron swords. Doesn't Master Linda look stunning? Her skin is fair and beautiful. Among you losers, being the holy light wielder is the strongest. Everyone would need a holy light wielder when fighting bosses in the future. This is ridiculous. Morning Mist really went from a player to a city lord just like that. I'm starting to wonder if he really is a player or an NPC in the game. The discussion about White Fog City opening up on the internet exploded. However, Lu Chen, who had gone offline, did not have the energy to pay attention to any of it. He knocked on Lan Weiwei's door and found that she was carrying Raleigh. From the looks of it, the two of them had just come out of the game as well. Lu Chen looked at the empty game pod in the room and sighed. The two of them must have entered the game directly and did not want to rely on the game pod anymore. When Lan Weiwei saw Lu Chen, her eyes lit up. She patted her belly and spoke demandingly, "I'm hungry." Lu Chen smiled and stroked her head. "Then I'll bring you to something to eat." Lan Weiwei nodded happily. Raleigh, on the other hand, was a little angry. It was obvious that the little follow was angry that Lu Chen had thrown it to Linda for research. Lu Chen ignored Raleigh's tantrum and brought them downstairs. When he reached the hall, they realized that something was wrong. He could sense that there were many people around and an ambush was going to happen to them. With that, all his sense immediately heightened in alert. At this moment, Lu Yuan walked in from outside. When she saw Lu Chen, she said in surprise, "Lu Chen, you actually left the game." Lu Chen said warily, "Don't move. There are people around." When Lu Chen spoke, only then did Lu Yuan realize that Lu Chen had already discovered that the people in the organization are here. She said, "Don't worry, they're the higher-ups." Then, she took out her walkie-talkie and said, "Everyone, disperse. Lu Chen has left the game." Lu Chen asked in puzzlement, "What's going on?" Lu Yuan pointed at the projection of White Fog City outside the window and said, "Can't you just see for yourself?" Lu Chen turned his head and was startled. What the H*LL was going on? Why was White Fog City in this world? At this moment, Lu Changping walked in with the members of the Dragon team. "Lu Chen, I'm sorry that I came here without informing you beforehand, but all this was for your own safety." Lu Chen ignored what Lu Changping said. Instead, he pointed at White Fog City outside the window and asked, "I just want to know what's going on with that thing." Lu Changping looked around and said, "This is not the right place to talk. Let's go back to the Dragon building first." Lu Chen nodded in agreement before speaking again, "All right." After saying that, he walked out with Lu Changping and the others. The car sped along, and no one around dared to be in its way. They were all Flood Dragon cars, and there were many other armored vehicles that surrounded each of these cars on both sides. Not long after, they arrived at the Dragon building. Lu Chen and Lan Weiwei had to carry Raleigh directly into the building as that little fellow refused to move an inch. Then, they took the elevator to the top floor. In a conference room, one could see that Lu Changping looked solemn. "White Fog City appearing in this world is because of you." "Because of me?" Lu Chen asked in puzzlement. Lu Changping nodded. "I should have told you that we recently had contact with our connections. They even revealed some new information to us. They said that important resources of Second World will slowly materialize in this world over time. Therefore, when the projection of White Fog City appeared in our sky, we knew that you must have been the first to enter White Fog City. Therefore, we surrounded your residence immediately to ensure your safety in case anyone intends of sabotaging your process. Please forgive us for this." Lu Chen waved his hand. "It's fine." He understood that his entry into White Fog City had triggered a strange phenomenon. Moreover, this strange phenomenon could now be seen by the whole world. In order to ensure his safety, Lu Changping had sent people to his home to protect him. However, if White Fog City really descended into this world, would he still get to be invisible? He remembered the bonuses of White Fog City and the special effects of those pieces of equipment. Lu Qin could not help but hope that that bonus part of the game could be transferred to the real world as well. He looked at Lu Changping and said, I think the reason why I'm here isn't just because of White Fog City, right? Lu Changping nodded and said, that's right. The appearance of White Fog City was within our expectations. However, their appearance was something we didn't expect. Lu Changping pointed at Lan Weiwei and Raleigh. Lu Chen was not surprised. Sooner or later, Lan Weiwei's presence would be known by the higher-ups. He had long been prepared for this. Moreover, since the appearance of White Fog City, they must have seen Lan Weiwei in game and in real life as well. Eventually, they would put two and two together. It was obvious they would speak up about it. He looked at Lu Changping and said, I am sure that you guys have investigated upon this matter. Could it be that you have not found anything? Lu Changping shook his head and said, nothing. It's impossible to exist in this world with no background information. The Dragon Country could not find anything on them at all. He paused and looked at Lan Weiwei. There's only one possibility. She's not from this world. In the room, everyone's heart trembled. She's not from this world. How could that be? Could this girl be from the second world? If that's the case, then things are quickly escalating to heights that they could not comprehend anymore. Everyone's eyes focused on Lu Qin. They hoped that he would give them an answer that would settle their nerves. Lu Qin did not try to hide it. Instead, he nodded affirmatively and said, that's right. Weiwei is indeed not from this world. She came from the second world. After saying that, everyone felt a chill in their hearts. How did you manage to bring her out of the second world? Lu Changping asked in a trembling voice. This was an extremely serious matter. The second world was gradually combining into this world. If he could teleport people over, this would undoubtedly be a huge crisis, as it would mean that monsters could destroy this very earth that they are standing on. The beings of the second world were basically filled with terrifying destructive power. Lu Qin only spoke the truth and nothing but the truth. He directly said, I don't know either, but it could be related to the signed contract. A contract? Everyone was puzzled. Lu Qin nodded and said, that's right, a contract. He looked at Weiwei, patted her shoulder, and spoke to everyone around. Weiwei is my pet. Her true form is an ash wolf. After saying that, everyone looked at Lan Weiwei in disbelief. No one would have thought that such an obedient little girl was actually a wolf.